maximize performance when
Plug-in. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Application Development Strategy session. My name's Charlie Hill. I'm CTO for Lotus, and with me is Phil Riond, who's the lead architect for application development. We're going to talk about app dev strategy, and in the opening general session, you heard Doug Cox talk about the social business framework and also the social business toolkit. And we're going to spend the majority of our presentation explaining what those things are and how they're going to help you become a social business or become a social business partner with IBM. What we're going to do is going to go through kind of three sections. I want to start with our strategic directions for application development, because we really have some, I think, exciting new directions to share with you to frame what we're doing. And then I'm going to go into the social business framework concept and details. And that's sort of a pretty big chunk of the presentation. And then we'll go into product news. And Phil is going to come up and do the third section and give a couple of demos in that section. I apologize having the demos late, but we really need to sort of explain the concepts and the strategy first. That's really what we think is critical to get across in that session. So I just want to start with the notion of social business and some of the entry points that companies around the world are sort of seeing for becoming a social business. So basically, there's a number of different ways that we see demand for the application of social technologies. I mean, clearly, getting deeper customer relationships through what we call exceptional web experiences that are really all about customer engagement. That's one of the entry points, and that's a really key area that we have great solutions in today. On the other end of the spectrum, a lot of companies are looking for ways to enable their employees to work in new ways with each other, with partners and customers and so forth. And, you know, we have a vision around exceptional work experiences, which is really focused on that entry point. But at the same time, some companies are actually looking end-to-end at the application of social technologies around kind of end-to-end optimization of their processes. For example, accelerating their ability to bring products to market. And so they sort of combine all aspects of these capabilities. And so as we sort of rebuilt our application development strategy, we came up with this notion of a social business framework that really is designed to be kind of future-proof and span the spectrum of social business opportunities. And it's really a kind of a collection of capabilities, modular capabilities, that you can apply to a wide range of business needs that want to take advantage of some of these interesting, exciting new capabilities. So we think of this as really a strategy that's focused on accelerating your path to social business. The kinds of things that you're going to find important or sort of differentiating qualities in these solutions are clearly, first of all, user experience. It's going to be very important to have exceptional experiences in this kind of style of solution. And of course you expect unmatched social capabilities, and we have excellent capabilities in our products today, and we continue to work on those, have great things in the lab and so on. But at the same time, we think there are huge opportunities, you've heard a lot about this already, to take advantage of a number of adjacent areas of technology that IBM has very strong leading capability in, and bring them together with social technology. So it's not only about the collaboration platform, but it's really also about how you combine that with other capabilities. Then finally, we believe, and obviously this is very important to our application development strategy, that open web architectures are the foundation for creating these kinds of solutions, for providing the kind of interoperability and integration possibilities that will drive this class of solutions forward. So going into our application development strategy, we've been looking at three fundamental themes. There's been a revolution in social, which of course we're all about here. There's also a revolution in mobile, and that's very important to our vision for application development. And then from a development point of view, we know that you're always looking for more accelerated ways to create the solutions you need. And so when you put all of these three themes together, you get kind of a convergence around some of the things that we're doing right now that we think are very exciting. And I think if you were in the mobile session today, you might have heard a little bit about our mobile app dev strategy that really speaks to that potential. So I want to go into just a tiny bit of detail in each of those three themes. Firstly, social. What is social to us? Clearly, it's about enabling interactions and using breakthroughs in social networking technology to enable them. We believe that getting people in the net, having rich profiles and network-based sharing and collaboration methods is really fundamental. But complementary to that is this notion of enhancing situational awareness, to analyze this content that is finding its way into the network now. And it's social content, it's connected to people. And to take advantage of that in all kinds of ways, including consumer insight, including expertise discovery, and numerous interesting, innovative features like recommendation systems, just as an example. Then thirdly, if you look at those two kind of categories of functionality, we don't want them to be some kind of separate destination that you go to and in itself sort of become some other kind of silo. We think of these capabilities as things that we want to make extremely easy and contextually relevant to whatever a person is doing as they go about their work. So paying a lot of attention to delivering social in context through mechanisms like communities and microblogging channels and embeddable unified communications and so on. So I mentioned mobile. I mean, this is clearly a very, very important topic. Our business partners are building their businesses on mobile, and the reason they're doing that is that our customers and many companies out in the world are clamoring really for appropriate methods to mobilize their applications to reach their employees on the burgeoning smartphone platforms that are out there. Now, the problem is they're kind of burgeoning. There's lots of them, and they're moving fast. So from an app dev point of view, one of the things that we're really focused on here is enabling developers to reach multiple smartphone platforms, mobilize a wide range of applications at relatively low incremental cost per additional platform, and in particular provide a consistent extensibility model across those target platforms, including the desktop. So we have some mobile capabilities in the product line today that we think are very valuable. Xpages on Domino does some great stuff, connections mobile, web capabilities, mobile portal accelerator, and so on. But there's a lot of news in this space. We're doing a lot to enable new mobile capabilities. We'll be talking about some of that today in the tooling area. And there's other material around in the conference on the broader mobile strategy, which we think is very exciting. Accelerated development. This is a really important point. We know that you want to continue to use the tools that make you as productive as possible. So, you know, it's about RAD tooling. It's about giving you powerful APIs, but we understand they also need to be consistent so that your skills are more easily to transfer from one to the next. And it's also about integration because of the nature of these solutions. So, you know, our strategy is very focused on, and we're going to be talking about some of the ways that we're extending these environments. One of the things that we're putting emphasis on right now is getting developers started, so enabling developers to kind of get up and running and actually coding or working in a WYSIWYG way in a RAD tool with an integrated set of capabilities that speak to the possibilities around these social applications. And so we're doing a bunch of work. You'll see coming out first half of this year a developer-oriented software appliance that will run in the cloud, and we're also looking at doing an on-premises version to allow you to take advantage of multiple capabilities in one instance, one image. We're also doing some work around giving attractive licensing terms around the Domino utility server in particular to help you work with Domino App Dev in conjunction with Lotus Live Notes, which is something that we've heard from you want and need. And we'll talk a little bit about some of the things we're doing to enable the community to kind of support and underpin all of this technology, clearly that's a very important part of the strategy. I'm going to very briefly go into our technical strategy. In a nutshell, our strategy is to extend existing platforms with social capabilities. We're putting a lot of effort into simplifying the stack and emphasizing a focused set of common technologies across our product line that enable you to take advantage of the integration opportunities, take advantage of the capabilities, and interoperate well not only with IBM products but also third party. We're also at the same time, we really want to appeal to a broader audience of developers. We want to make sure in terms of our customers that they have the development skills they need to draw upon in order to build the applications they want. And so that's an important part of our technical strategy, and that really leads to our focus on web technologies. I want to really emphasize a very important point. This is an evolutionary strategy. We're going to implement this strategy on the product line and the stacks and the tooling that you're already using. And there's several benefits in that. Even leaving cost aside, we want you to be able to very quickly get into enhancing existing applications with new capabilities without rewriting those applications. We also want you to be able to take your technologies and skills that you've invested in and apply them very quickly to new classes of applications. So that's kind of core. And the good news is you can get going right today. The strategy is continuous from where we are. It's probably obvious at this point that we're going to depend on open web standards as a foundation for realizing this strategy. If you were in the Project Vulkan session earlier today, you will have heard some discussion of some of the technologies we're embracing, like activity streams and open social. This is really about IBM reaffirming our long-standing commitment to open standards, both to use them and also to drive them. We think it's the way to drive value for our customers, to give you flexibility and adaptability. It's the way to drive innovation and leverage the innovation that's going on in the wider ecosystem. It's very important for enabling efficient development on mobile devices, and it's also the key to skills availability. So what we're really trying to do is to enable you to build these next generation solutions on top of the infrastructures that are already in place. And the great news is it's a runtime agnostic approach. So you can access these capabilities from the runtimes you're already using, whether it's Domino or Java or other runtimes that can connect to essentially web technologies. I'm going to go into the social business framework now. This chart flashed up kind of briefly in the opening general session in Doug Cox's section. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of blow this up a bit and very quickly give you a sense of what's inside the framework. I'm not really going to explain it in detail. Just give you a sense of what we're talking about. So at the bottom of the framework is a set of core modules. And basically you can think of the framework as a representation of the space of capabilities involved in realizing social business solutions. We absolutely don't expect all of the capabilities to be brought to bear in a single solution, but what we do want to do is to have some interplay between the different capabilities that are there. So, at the bottom, of course, Lotus brings to the framework the core social modules that span really the portfolio, including our social software portfolio, product with connections, same time unified communications platform, messaging and PIM, and workflow and forms-based applications on Domino, integration with mobile devices, document management capabilities and quicker, all kinds of things, integration into portal and connectors to backends of various kinds. Adjacent to these capabilities are things like business analytics, commerce, enterprise content management, and so forth. These are examples, but there are many adjacent capabilities that using this technical strategy we can plug together. And there'll be many opportunities for partners to add other complementary capabilities that augment the framework in various ways. When we get to the solutions, as I mentioned at the beginning, there are many entry points. One of the things that we see happening is that there are many different ways in which social is kind of finding its way into the business agenda, into the transformation agendas that companies have. It may be through HR, it may be through research and development, it may be through supply chain integration. All of these different touch points. So we want to really be able to get to all of those touch points. Excuse me. And finally, we want you to take advantage of the tremendous breadth and depth of our services and support capability, both IBM partners and the capabilities that IBM ourselves bring to the market. I want to go into the toolkit in a little bit more detail than the framework itself. The toolkit is an API that sits above all of these capabilities and allows you to develop solutions. What we're doing initially to get things going is to bring together the core APIs of our product line into the social business toolkit and make that available to you in a more cohesive way and provide runtime enablement for this toolkit in the core runtimes that we bring to market, including Domino and Portal, Connections, Lotus Live, and so forth. And then extend the access to this toolkit into the tools that you're using, as I said. What we're really doing is we're taking advantage of some common architectural and technology investments that we've made across the product line to be able to do this. API technologies like patterns like JSON and Atom and REST, runtime technologies like OSGI, Dojo, HTML, and so forth, and tooling based on Eclipse. And that's a sort of consistent landscape that we're plugging into. During this year, we're going to bring out some new capabilities in the toolkit, which is really where we think some sort of breakthrough capability is going to happen. And this is really about unifying some aspects of how you bring together a solution. We really want to enable developers to build unified user experiences with consistent extensibility across this diverse set of capabilities, and do that in a way that works across the products, works across deployment models, cloud and on-premises, and also across the endpoints, the user interfaces on mobile and desktop clients. The Activity Streams API that we went through earlier today in the Project Vulkan session is the first thing that is going to be out. In fact, we have a developer edition of that out today on Lotus Greenhouse, and the general availability of these capabilities will be coming through our core product releases that are forthcoming, so Connections next, Lotus Notes next, and so forth, because the whole idea is to enable those runtimes to play in this environment. So just to be clear, our tooling approach here is to take the strategic tooling that you're already using and to make the toolkit APIs interoperate in that environment. So Portlet Factory, of course, works really well with REST APIs. And so, it should be very easy to take Portlet Factory and create portlets and widgets using the builders that you already know how to work with. And similarly, if you're a Domino developer, using Domino Designer plus X Pages as a way to assemble these solutions and take advantage of this very rich set of APIs. But you can also leverage third-party SDKs. If you're building an iPhone app, for example, you can work with the Apple SDK and work very easily with this toolkit. Convergence is a very important part of the strategy. What it really means is we want to create, really is our sort of fundamental vision of what we're trying to do here, is to have the same framework that I just described very briefly be available to you consistently across delivery models and clients. And so, we want to, for example, make it possible for you to run some of these capabilities in the cloud as cloud-based services that can be incorporated into on-premises solutions and different combinations of those deployment options. In that context, Lotus Live partner integration is a very important part of our strategy. Lotus Live is basically an integration platform that brings with it SaaS-based collaboration capabilities. We have a big focus on building a partner ecosystem around Lotus Live. If you're a partner in the audience, we invite you to get involved here. There's a lot of opportunity. And Lotus Live really is about integrating not only sort of standalone things inside Lotus Live, but also with other cloud services and also with on-premises capabilities that need to come together into a hybrid solution. Two kinds of integration in Lotus Live. Inbound integration means consuming the services that are on Lotus Live in another context, for example, a CRM application. Outbound integration is the opposite. It's about delivering your custom application or online service into Lotus Live where people can work with it in the context of the Lotus Live capabilities. Things like digital signatures we highlighted in the OGS. So one of the things we're doing from an app dev point of view is we're opening up the partner integration to IBM partners at the advanced level and above. And we're going to be doing that, we're planning to do that in Q2. And we'll provide a dev and test environment to allow you to work with pre-release code on Lotus Live with the appropriate ability to test APIs and so forth. I want to give a couple of examples of social business solutions. I'm going to start with the Lotusphere Online application that some of you may already have been using. This is quite a good example of a solution built on kind of primarily the core Lotus stack. It includes a social networking capability, it includes messaging and PIM, it includes unified communications, and Domino with X-Pages has been used to create some core value-added capabilities, the home page and the agenda. And the solution has desktop and mobile access enabled within it. So the stack that that was used to create this solution is really what you would expect: connection, same time, iNotes, and Domino. And this is kind of a really nice example of how someone with specialized skills in one or more Lotus products can start to combine them and make very rich products, taking advantage of all of the out-of-box functionality within the product portfolio. Second example is an insurance agency portal. This is a pattern that has been implemented many, many times amongst our customers. We have a lot of insurance companies that want to engage their independent agents in order to drive business success for the agents and therefore loyalty to the insurance company. And typically in these solutions, they vary a little bit from one to the next, actually quite a lot, because insurance company infrastructure is obviously potentially very complex. Typically, we're seeing a lot of use of social technologies to build community and to connect people through the whole process of selling insurance, working on claims, and so forth. And so this is an example. We get a diverse range of modules that can be brought to bear within this scenario. Typically, it's a portal-led implementation that includes perhaps same time and connections capability injected into it to make it social, as well as a web content manager, IBM Forms functionality. But we also see plenty of IBM sort of adjacent function, value-add function, being brought to bear in these kinds of applications because insurance companies have records management systems. They want to do advanced customer relationship stuff with analytics like core metrics and Unica. And so these are just examples here on the chart, but the point is it's a great example of sort of reaching into the broader toolbox that IBM provides and building really powerful solutions. So at this point, I want to hand over to Phil, and Phil is going to take us through a bunch of product updates and, if there's time, a few demos as well. Thanks, Phil. Thank you.
Okay. You saw from the slides that Charlie talked about that we are now kind of simplifying our technology stack and converging around open standards with all our toolings and all our runtimes. So this is what I'm going to try to demonstrate to you through the different product updates that we have in the upcoming version of the different parts of our offerings. So first is Domino and X-Pages and Domino Designer. So clearly, Domino Designer and the Domino Server are the core RAD tooling that we offer for creating workflow-based application on top of the Lotus stack. So right now, as in the LS Online application, it's already enabled for writing and integrating seamlessly social capabilities inside your applications. You can connect to the connection services through the REST APIs. You can integrate with the social business toolkit, also through the REST API provided by the toolkit. And if you went to a couple of Domino sessions, you saw that we try now to really build Domino on top of Open Standard and typically Dojo, that is used across all our products, and OSGI for the runtime part. So you have a full OSGI and Java stack now on top of Domino. Also, Domino is, if you look at the trend and the buzz right now around data store and the new SQL trend, Domino is really well positioned here because it's a capable and proven NoSQL store. So it fits perfectly in the new social trend for application development. Also for XPages, we provided some extra capability as open source projects that are available on OpenNTF. One of them is the XPages extension library. And with this library, you really have an unmatched productivity when writing an application. There is another session where Paul Hannan is showing that in about 10 minutes, you can take an existing application, an old one, and move it to a social app in less than 10 minutes. There are future directions also of Domino. We're going to extend the number of templates we have. Last Friday, we made available the new team room, which is the existing Domino team room moved to XPages and moved to Web 2.0. We put a new version of the wiki, which was 2 weeks ago, and this is also going to evolve to consume the other open source projects. And the doc library will follow probably soon as well. In Domino, we're going to provide an open social container. If you were at the Vulkan session, you saw the embedded experience in the use of gadgets across our products. So, of course, Domino is going to participate into this. And there will be an open social container inside Domino, and you will be able to create gadgets very, very easily using XPages, and they will be rendered in any of the other containers, like typically connections or the Vulkan homepage. And the last point here, we're going to equip Domino with a set of REST services. So Domino right now can handle and generate SOAP services. We're going to extend that and provide REST services. So you'll be able to access Domino data, core Domino data, as well as higher level services like calendaring. And we have a list of priorities for the services we want to provide here as part of Domino Next. About our application development community, so I introduced already OpenNTF. Doc Cox spoke about it. This is a very important way for us to enable the community and to put people together and deliver common assets. So since 2 years, it really ramped up. Now, OpenNTF has about 60,000 users, and there is about 10,000 downloads per month. So it's a tremendous success. The quality of the projects you can find on OpenNTF now is also growing, and it's very high. The second site we have is the Business Solutions Catalog. So this is more for the commercial out-of-the-box capabilities. So you can find components, widgets, or full applications that are ready to use and download. And just for the sake of the platform, the two websites here, OpenNTF and the catalog, are two applications built on top of our framework. There are two XPages applications, and they are connected. The second one is connected to connections at the same time. So it's based exactly on the same stack than we show for Lotusphere Online. So let me show you a quick application, a quick XPages application that is connecting to connections. And what we'll do with this application is we'll make it available on OpenNTF as well. And it will be a very good example of a Domino application connecting with the rest of the portfolio. So it's just an end-of-the-year review, so it's an HR application, and it connects to connections first to get the hierarchy of employees and the management chain from profiles. It connects to activities to get the goals of each employee that are defined as activities. It connects to files because you can put attachments like evaluations. And it's also connect to communities because you can evaluate people inside the community. If you look at the main page, so it's a fully working application. If you look at the main page, you can see that the look and feel, it's completely One UI enabled, and it's completely compatible with Vulkan. It's the same look and feel. So we're sharing now all the CSS and other assets, I mean, Dojo components, JavaScript routine, to match the exact same user interface in all our products. Something that we can do with this application also is participate to the activity stream. So here I click on the setup button, and there is an option, a checkbox, that a user can select to participate to activity streams and then send events to the activity stream and see them in their activity inbox. How did we do that? It's very simple. And that shows you the power here of Domino and the different APIs. This is JavaScript. JavaScript on the server. And there is a new add function that is available here, which is publish activity. And you pass a couple of parameters. And automatically, this is pushed to the activity stream. If you want to go a little bit further, you can create components inside Domino Designer. These components, until 8.5.2, so the current version of Domino Server, can be projected as iWidgets or can be projected as components inside a composite application. But now, with Domino Next, you can also project them as gadgets, and they participate into the embedded experience. So you can really take your application and make it a first-class citizen inside the core Vulkan project. Let me go back to the slides. So connections. Connections is really our networking and collaboration platform for the business users. And Connections comes with a complete set of REST APIs that you can use to integrate custom data. And this is what we're doing in the previous application. You can add widgets to Connections. There is also a project on OpenNTF showing that and detailing how it works. And it can, well, everything here is done using Open Standard other HTTP, so Open APIs, other HTTP. Part of Connection 3 and part of the REST services capability of Connections, we are adding support for CMIS. So CMIS is a standard for content management, and that allows different connectors to connect to Connections and get the data or write into Connections. And the next version of Connections, Connection Next, will integrate natively the activity stream of Vulkan. So that will be the platform that hosts this activity stream and the home page with the activity inbox. Very important in our portfolio, the same time platform. So the same time platform comes with already a large set of APIs, backend APIs or front-end APIs. And since the version 8.5, we also have now what we call a proxy server that allows applications, web-based applications, to integrate in their UI some part from same time. Prior to this, you might know that we were using an applet that was inside the browser. Starting with 8.5, now you can natively integrate some JavaScript components that are connecting using AJAX back to the proxy server. And same thing, we have some examples of this on OpenNTF, showing you how you can call the same-time services. And this is going to increase and to be extended in the next release of same time. This is great. Connections, same time, Domino. The problem is, as developers, it's generally not easy to have all the three products working together because it takes time to install them and configure them. So what we're going to announce here is an appliance that will come with our products pre-installed, pre-configured. We're using the same authentication mechanism, the same LDAP server, using single sign-on, and everything pre-configured to work together with some realistic sample data sets. So by getting this appliance, you will be ready to experiment our APIs, experiment our tooling in just a matter of minutes. And this will be available either on-premises through a VMware appliance that you will be able to download and install locally, but also in the cloud, in either the IBM cloud or the Amazon E3 cloud. Around Portal. So around Portal, we have a Portlet Factory. And as we said, we're really converging all our tools, all our technologies. And it's not a surprise that the themes for Portal and Portlet Factory in 2011 are completely aligned with what we're doing for Vulkan and the rest of the portfolio. So the themes are mobile, that we hear that a lot. We heard that a lot in this Lotusphere. The second theme is socials with new portlets and builders that you will have really to integrate with connections and connections data in Portal and Portlet Factory. And very important, accelerated development. So it's a growing suite of extensible solution assets. So you have either components that you can reuse inside your application, like logging components or whatever, and you have also complete templates, complete solutions that you can get and instantiate to have the functionality and provide the exceptional web experience at a very high speed. So, as I said, one of the themes of Portlet Factory here is mobile. So I just picked up that as a new feature of Portlet Factory. There are many, in fact, coming with the version 7 of Portlet Factory, but I like the mobile one. So coming with, say, 7.0, you have some new builders in Portlet Factory. First of all, you can create a native mobile app that comprises multiple pages that will be downloaded all at once to the mobile device. And in these pages, you can use new builders. First, you have some new theme builders, so your application will look like a mobile application. You have also a set of assets, CSS and JavaScript snippets that will be generated by these builders. And one that I like, which is a geodecoder to get geolocalization inside your portlet. And let me show you this in action. So I can launch my application, which is just a Portlet Factory application. And here we are. So now in my browser, I can have an iPhone experience. So I can click here on insurance. You see the transition, how it works. And I can find a local agent. Here we are, and use current location, which means use the geolocalization of the browser and try to find the insurances that are near me. Well, the first one is just 162 miles away. But that shows you that Portlet Factory now integrates in 7.0 all the features you need to build solid mobile applications and render your portlets as mobile applications. IBM Forms. So IBM Forms is also evolving in the exact same direction. Forms is coming with two products. The first one is Form 4.0, which is the eForm capability. So it evolved a lot in 4.0 and now provides a fully Web 2.0 capable user interface. And there is another project called Project Nitro, which is in beta, and you can download it, which is a web-based development environment for creating forms. So you launch that from your browser, and you can define the set of fields comprising your form, create lists, and then run this application without having to do any kind of deployment. So it's a very, very powerful tool. I would really encourage you to look at it and download it. Here is just for you a set of links that you can use to gather more information about what we're doing. So through DeveloperWorks, the set of wikis, Greenhouse, OpenNTF, xpages.info when you want to start xpages, some links to get videos, and particularly from VideoFast, you can find really a catalog of very, very good videos and a lot of resources that are available now through the community. So if you're Domino developers, and this is the end of Lotusphere, we're back home. So what are the actions you should take? So the first thing for Domino is learn xpages. If you haven't done that yet, you'll saw the number of sessions we have during this Lotusphere, and it is clear that this is our strategic direction for Domino. So learn xpages. The second one is invest in all the new technology trends, like HTML5, understand HTML5, understand what is behind that and the features that it provides, either on browsers or on mobile devices. CSS, of course, for designing your applications. And JavaScript Dojo. Dojo now is really used cross products inside IBM. So when you want to use the same time toolkit, it comes with some Dojo controls. When you want to use the connections vCard, it's a Dojo control, which means that if you're a JavaScript developer, you can consume them, but if you understand Dojo, you can consume them better and extend them if you want. Look at gadgets, look at widgets, what they are and how you can create them. Also, start to use Java in Domino. We're going to continue to support Lotusscript, we're going to continue to support JavaScript, but look at Java when you want to write some business logic inside Domino. It might be a shift, but it will give you a tremendous power and a tremendous set of capabilities that you currently don't have by just using the classic technologies in Domino. And last point, make your application social. So download some of the samples we're putting on OpenNTF, download some of the components, use them to make your application social. Get social, do business. If you're a portal developer, the action items are very aligned to this. They are very, very similar. Look at what we provide for integrating portal and connections, for consuming connections data and components inside portal. It comes through a set of existing portlets and through a set of existing portlet factory builders that you can just consume. So move up the stack. Use the new components and templates to integrate with our social platform. And now we start to have a fair amount of them available on Greenhouse. Get mobile. Exact same message. Get mobile with Portal. Use Portlet Factory to generate mobile apps. Use the accelerator from Portal to generate mobile apps. And test drive the new based tooling. So beyond Portlet Factory, look at IBM Form 0, which is well integrated inside Portal, and look at Nitro as the new web-based development tools for end users. And we're also going to provide, or we are providing, sorry, some sandboxes in the cloud that you can use to experiment Portal, so you don't have to install that on premises. You don't have to install that on your own servers, but you can consume them from Amazon EC2. And finally, if you're just an innocent web developer, I mean, you're not a Domino developer, you're not a Portal developer, well, the platform is open to you. The steps is, again, look at social capabilities and look at the HTML widgets and other technologies that we are providing you. So, for example, we have the same-time APIs with the widgets you can use to integrate same-time awareness or chat capability inside your apps, the business cards that you can get from connections, and look at all the RESTful APIs we have in our products here. test drive, our images in the cloud. So Domino is in the cloud, Portal is in the cloud. We're going to put the social business appliance, which is a bundle of connections, Domino and same time for now. Use that, try our API. And when it's available, which is already the case now on Greenhouse, explore the social business toolkit. See how you can participate to the activity stream. See how you can participate to the embedded experience using gadgets and using the APIs that we are providing here. There is an application that is one of our business partners showed me yesterday, which is just an iPhone application. So this is exactly in the blog that Charlie talked about. Third-party SDKs. So he wrote an iPhone application. It's connecting to a Domino server, getting access to the data through REST services, and rendering natively inside the iPhone. Nobody knows that there is a Domino server behind that. And the user experience when using the application is just a native iPhone user experience. So now, because we are based on these standards, this is something that you can leverage and use for your applications. Charlie?
So, just to wrap up, we wanted to make sure there was time for questions, so we kind of raced through a lot of material here. But, our core message is basically that this is a pretty logical thing for us to be doing, right? I mean, it builds on all of our expertise and all of your expertise and our legacy of all of the different technologies and skills that we have. So, that's really good. That's a good opportunity for everyone to get more leverage. At the same time, there are some things that are different. We're putting a big focus on integration, on mixing inside and outside the firewall, on having these richer composite solutions. And that's a huge opportunity because we're making it relatively easy to enable those solutions. And they will really be transformative, and they'll raise the overall value of the software that you deploy. All of our products are included in this vision. We're not sort of picking a product. The whole point is to bring them together in a more unified development model. We think this is a huge opportunity. We think that our partners can make money out of this and really grow their businesses, but we also think it's going to really help our customers add complementary facilities to what they already have. Basically to sum up, we want to enable a new class of systems building on open web standards. That's the core strategy that we're working on here. We're putting a lot of emphasis on consistent extensibility across all those different sort of domains that one needs to work on. And you can start today. So with that, we're going to wrap up, and thank you for your time. And there's a little time for questions. If you would like to ask a question, come up to one of the mics at the front of the auditorium. Thanks very much. Any questions?
Hi. I just want to know, how do you match this development strategy with the rational development strategy, with the rational stack of products?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. Do you want to take that, Phil?
Yep. The kind of unification of technology that you saw here between our product also happens with Rational. So we are building on exactly the same technology stack. But the reason why I mentioned Java and OSGI, which is something that now we're going to build on top of, on Domino, on connections, and this is exactly what Rational is doing as well. And WebSphere, since WebSphere 7, also integrates now OSGI. So this is one point. The second thing is everything that is around open social. So we're working closely with Rational in standardizing, the use of open social. So, for example, you can use Rational Team Concert and integrate gadgets that are produced by Lotus products. We're also working closely with Rational on Dojo. So we have some groups participating to the same Dojo projects, and at the end, we come with common specifications. So we are talking a lot with Rational, and we really try to unify that at the IBM level, not only on the Lotus level.
Thank you. Another question over here.
A related question, since all of your tools are built on Eclipse, when are you going to take the opportunity to make them all plugins so that I can build one basic client either with RAD or with Rational Software Architect and then plug them all in so I have one place to go to get my work done?
No, I think it's an excellent question, and particularly with RAD and Domino Designer, because right now there are just 2 instances of Eclipse running in parallel. This is the ultimate goal. Simply, we have some technical challenges. And basically, when we run Domino Designer, it has to run inside the nodes process. And inside the nodes process, we cannot install RAD on top of that. So this is a technical reason. We want to go to this direction. We just haven't been able to do it now. But this is definitively a goal.
So you can't install a target platform for Domino inside of a plugin install?
You can do that, so you will be then able to compile against the Domino plugins, but you cannot run, in this case, a Domino application.
So you see where I'm going, right? I'm trying to get to a single platform and have that platform available to me anywhere, on Windows systems and on others.
I understand. And again, it's really a goal. We want to be there. We haven't been able right now to do it, but we're working on it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Another question?
In the previous session, I heard the term compound application. I think it was specifically to do with the share box. Could you elaborate on?
Sure. Well, actually, in the context of the share box, it was a specific point he was making that he had an open social gadget that contained open social gadgets, which may or may not be relevant to your needs. But I think we have talked about compound applications as well at the level of the need to assemble multiple systems as well. So it's another way that term is used. Yeah.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, well, thanks very much for your time.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
There's one.
Oh, hang on. Hold on. We have one more.
Yeah, this is really a welcome return to thinking about developers, I think. It's been too long since Lotus really, I think, gave the community the tools it needs to build apps. But, of course, it goes beyond tools. And if we're going to see you genuinely support, say the honest web developer and all these other types and try and bring others onto the platform, you're going to have to put an organization in place to support that. So what are the plans so that, if people here choose to build the apps, they know that they're going to be supported above and beyond the slightly more traditional business partnering that you've been doing of late?
Interesting question. Well, I mean, I'm not sure exactly what you're getting at in terms of I don't know whether you want to expand on it a little bit, James, in terms of your question. I mean, this pattern of applications is our strategic pattern, and that's kind of our, all of our business partner programs, our design partner programs, and so on, are, increasingly going to be aligned around these sort of application architectures, and therefore the sort of community ecosystem around that. But I think you probably had something more specific.
Yeah, it's really that community ecosystem and what investments you're going to make there, because quite frankly, you've been much more focused on selling apps. And this is much more about kind of encouraging people to build to the platform. Changing the evangelist model for a start is one possibility. I mean, you're not really set up to be going out and selling this idea beyond this community. So I just think you're going to need some changes if you really want to grow the platform.
Okay. I mean, Phil, do you want to expand on that?
Because, to target also this population, we want to put a lot of enablement material. And we want to put, these software business appliance, so we give access to our platform, so an easy access to our platform, an easy access to our tooling, and we want to really enable the community putting articles, putting videos, and say, okay, you're an HTML developer, you want to create an open social gadget that participates with the embedded experience, here is the template, here is how to use it. So, from a material standpoint, I think we have ideas about what we need to provide and how we're going to provide that.
Okay, an obvious question. This is an Apple Macintosh. can I use it with Designer sometime before I die? Please. I hate Windows crashing.
So,
Please.
you know, he has a
I
Mac.
have a Mac too.
I have one, although, I'm just running here my Lenovo laptop. So we all want to do that, all right? We all Mac lovers. Simply, it hasn't been seen right now as a priority in the list, and we preferred investing on new features in Designer or stabilization of Designer new features rather than pushing that to the Mac. It's a matter of priorities. Right now, let's say it's not in the plan.
Here's the deal. All the cool kids want Linux, Mac. Yeah, you stick on Windows, you're just going to get the old guys like me. Who do you want? Yeah? Do you want pretty people or do you want old farts? Yeah? Come on.
No,
Okay.
Well, I think we clearly understand your point. It's just a matter that it hasn't been, pointed as a top priority so far. It might change, because if you look, as you said, we're Eclipse, we're Java, although now they're just removing Java from Mac, but we're Eclipse, we're Java. We have already the Notes client running on Mac. So from a technical standpoint, we're kind of ready. I mean, we have a few adaptations to do to make it happening, and it's mostly then a test effort, right? It's not happened yet.
We will take this back to our management as
Yeah, we'll report that.
very clear input. Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay.